What's up, guys? So let's talk a little bit about this AI thing. Is it really new? Because I think it's been around us for quite some time. We've just taken it for granted or really not even paid attention. Think about that. Like Google Maps. How does it know it's only going to be 13 minutes to drive home and I should go this way, and then that way, and then back this way? How does it know that? How did it know that I really need those blue Adidas with the extra honeycomb in the shoe and the heel to make me run that much faster? How did it know what movie I wanted to watch Friday night? It's AI. It's AI looking at everything that's happening, measuring behaviors, and making predictions and making your life easier. At first, it's a little freaky, but then instantly you adapt and adopt, and you'll be upset if it's taken away. Well, this is a little bit different in that we're talking about a new type of AI, one that isn't in the background, but one that's rather front and center. It's called generative AI, or in our little world, we like to call it collaborative AI. Because unlike the other AIs that just worked on their own and did their own talking to each other and learning things, this AI needs you. It needs you to give it ideas. It needs you to give it direction. It needs you to revise it, and it needs you to give it adjustments. And it simply will return amazing knowledge and information. It's not going to act on it yet. It's just going to provide that to you. So let's back up real quick and figure out where did this come from and how did it happen? So back in 2022, the entire web was scraped. They brought everything in from all over the web. And then they brought in 50 million books. And they put all of this into a knowledge base. Note that I did not say database. That's Google database. You look for something, it finds it, it gives you a link and a whole lot of ads. That's database. I said knowledge base. And so what I mean by that is it takes your prompt in your direction, just like a Google search, but instead of just giving you links or just a little blurb here or there, it provides you with knowledge. It figures out that you're trying to create a report or an email or analyze or just simply learn, and it puts all of this information into context for you. So it's really doing all the work for you. Now, this isn't going to replace anybody. This isn't taking anyone's job. But what it's going to do is augment the things you are already good at. And it's going to take over the things you don't like to do that we all have to. I mean, let's face it, no one's in their position right now because they write a good email. Anyone? Anyone? Or because they take good notes in a business meeting, or because they're really good at looking at spreadsheets. No, so those are the things that we all have to do, all hate to do forever, forever, forever. It takes forever to get started to do because we don't want to, that we can now shove off to AI and say, do it for me, and make sure you're doing it really well. So the thing is, when that AI, this generative AI first came out, it was at a knowledge level of a sophomore in high school. So pretty good, pretty amazing that this thing could respond and help you out in some ways, but it was still somewhat of a liability. But now with these advancements that are happening so quick, it's at a PhD level. So this is equivalent to having like 1,000 PhD subject matter experts standing with you while you're working at your desk and going, hey, let me give you a little insight there. Hey, a little thought here, a little thought there. Now that's powerful. If you don't have that, how could you ever compete? And that's what we're talking about here. And good for you for being here, because it's those that are leveraging it today that are going to be miles ahead of everyone else, that in the next year or two are going to go, hey, I guess we need to figure this thing out before there's no work for us. So good for you. That's what generative AI is. The other interesting thing about this AI and this highly technical, but it isn't really technology, is that the language in which it works and it is developed and it talks to you in is something called English. Can you hear what I'm saying? English. That means nerds like me, or even people like you, can simply talk to the AI and say, I need something to do this or this or this. Write this or this or this. You don't even have to type. There's no code. There's no C++ or Java or whatever. The code is English. And I think we're all good with that. It then does what it needs to with that English and then gives you a response in English. Just on a side note, it also does 109 other languages, but that's for another lesson on another day. So what does this really mean for you? This means that you need to start thinking about all the things that you don't necessarily like to do, but have to do. You need to look at all the tasks that you have throughout the day and go, huh, I wonder if I could let AI work on that a little bit and help me out. That's what this whole generative AI thing is, which is new to many and hasn't been around very long, but now is the time. Generative AI. Are we in? I think so.